Andrea over at Sewspire.com. I am here today to teach you how to sew this adorable little dog. If you remember, we decided that he was going to be the studio mascot. So as you know, I'm going to give this one away in our Happy Mail drawing. But I will make another one to keep here at the studio, and I'll be sure to share pictures of that pup once it's complete. So this will be our project today. But before we get on to that, I want to congratulate our winner of this gorgeous patchwork tote, which is part of the Happy Mail giveaway. Congratulations, Robin Keller. You are the winner. I will send you an email. If you just reply to that, I'll get your beautiful new one-of-a-kind tote out in the mail to you. And if you'd like to win this week's project, you can do that. You only have to enter one time, and then you're good for this and all subsequent Happy Mail drawings. So shall we get started? Okay, so to begin, the first thing you're going to need to do is head over to Sewspire.com and download and print the pattern. This is a project which I just freehand drew and cut, and so I have transferred that freehand drawing to 3 pieces of graph paper, which will print out on regular 8.5 by 11 paper, and you're going to have 3 sheets. So the first one will be the head and part of the ears. And the second one will be the center of the ears and the body. And then the third page will be the tail, the tip of which is right here, and the remainder of the ears. So you're going to just piece those together in order, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and tape them. And then you can cut out these paper pieces. What I like to do is then transfer the paper pattern, which is not very durable, onto a piece of fabric, and then I will save that and use that as my future pattern. So once you've done that, you've got your printout, and that is free, by the way. So all you have to do is just download it and print it, and then it's yours to keep forever, and you're welcome to share that with your friends and family. So now I have my fabric pattern. This is what the whole dog would look like. You'll need to cut out 2 of these body pieces, and then you will also need 2 of the ears. Now, I wanted to make this tutorial special for you all because regular, you can certainly just use 1 piece of fabric if you like and have a plain dog. He's totally adorable like that. Or if you really want to make it unique, you can create patchwork panels and have a truly one-of-a-kind dog. So I wanted to make a one-of-a-kind dog, and that's what I've done. These panels measure 12 inches tall by 22 inches wide, and they are just comprised of various widths of fabric that were all 12 inches tall until I hit that 22-inch mark. I used a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance when piecing those together. So you're going to take those 2 beautiful panels. This fabric is one of my very, very favorite collections, and it is called Lulu Roses, and it is by Tanya Whelan, I think is how you pronounce her name. If you order soon, you can find this fabric collection available at fabric.com and Hawthorne Threads, but I know the supply is getting limited, so if you like it, you might want to just get some for your stash. So to begin, position your 2 panels pretty sides facing. Then take your dog, and it doesn't really matter how you position the dog, right side up or not, because your panels are going the right way. So put your dog on there, get some pins. The dog, you're going to have to align So his feet are towards the base of the panel there, and his tail. So just make sure that everything fits on there. But if you made your panel 12 by 22, he will fit. So go ahead and pin him down. And then you have your ears, which you also need 2 of, and there's just enough room in between his head and his tail to cut out those ears. You can also, if it's easier for you or you like, another fun detail would be to make the ears out of a solid cut of fabric and do one on the reverse, and 2 different coordinates is what I'm trying to say. That gives a really neat look to the dog, because then when you flip up his ear, you see a different fabric. So that's one thing for you to consider. You could use like a slinky minky dot under there, and then the ears would be really soft. There's a lot of options, but to maximize your fabric, we're going to go ahead and cut our dog just like this. So now I have everything down there. You can use scissors if you want. I'm going to use a rotary cutter, but scissors work just as well. Okay, now I have the dog cut out, and I just need to cut out those ears. All the pieces are cut out. I want to remove that pattern because we do not want to sew that. We want to save that so we can use it again. Okay, and we'll begin with the ears. We're going to stitch all the way around the ears, leaving approximately a 2-inch opening on the center of one of these straight ends here. So somewhere towards the center of that, leave a 2-inch opening so we can turn it and press it right side out. I'm going to use the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, and now the ears are stitched. I just want to break that thread there in the center where the opening is, and then reach inside of there and flip this right side out. And you want to poke out those little tips of the ear with a finger. You could use a little stick or a pin. And then head on over to the iron and press this nice and flat. Okay, I have the ears pressed flat, and at that opening I've folded that under approximately 1/4 of an inch to hide that opening there where we turned it. Now I want to top stitch all the way around these little ears. That's what the ears look like. And they will fold in half like that, and you'll see that then they will sit on top of the dog like that, which will be cute. Okay, then you're going to take your dog, and you're going to want to put those pins back in so it doesn't shift. We're going to stitch all the way around the dog, and you're going to leave an opening in the belly of the dog approximately 2.5 inches. Reinforce that area with a back stitch so it doesn't come apart on you, and that's going to allow us to turn the dog right side out and then stuff him, and then we'll stitch that little opening in the belly close. So same thing, just stitch all the way around with the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, now I totally got ahead of myself there, and I forgot for you to attach the ears. So normally you would have the dog, one piece of the dog laying down. You fold the ears in half, and then position them towards the top of the head, and then you'd lay the second part of the dog on there to create a little sandwich. So it would go a body, the ears, a body, and then sew all the way around. But I can fix this. Such is the beauty of a seam ripper. So I'm just going to really carefully remove the stitching at the top of his little head or her little head and fix this. I was so excited that I got ahead of myself. Please forgive me. Okay, now I'm just going to tuck the ears down in that little hole in the top of the head. And this actually works too, and sometimes I think mistakes are blessings, because one of the problems that you might have is if you put the ears in first and then stitch, you might accidentally stitch the ears, say down here by the neck, and then you would have to use your seam ripper anyway. So maybe this is a blessing, and everyone should do their ears like this, because now when I just close up that top with the ears in it, I know for sure the rest of the project is okay. So you could put the ears in, and I'm just going to go back over those ears a couple times. I'm going to make sure you use a back stitch at the beginning and the end. Okay, so really no harm was done there, and the ears have been successfully attached. I want to go ahead and remove the pins and then check and make sure that I didn't go over and I did capture everything. You don't want to be too close to the edge, because the dog is hopefully going to get lots of hugs, so you wouldn't want it to get a little hole, but everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this pup right side out. Okay, now you can see the dog really taking shape. Of course, he gets much cuter. I keep calling him a boy, but he is made out of rose fabric. Her, she, I'm just not sure if it's a boy or a girl. But you can see the puppy gets much cuter as you flip it around, and it's going to be even more lovable once you put the fluff in. I would suggest going ahead and ironing out the wrinkles now before you stuff. Okay, my pup has been pressed, and I have some fluff here. I am just using some fiber fill from Fairfield. I'm pretty sure it's 100% polyester. It's nice and soft. Now it's time for us to stuff the dog, and to do that you just take a fistful of the stuffing and get that as compact as possible, and then you start pushing that into the dog. I like to begin with the tail. Some of the fluff packages come with like a little wooden stick or like a chopstick, and you can use that to push the fluff up into the tail. If you don't have the stick in your fluff, you can just use a marker, and just be careful, you know, you don't want to press too hard against any of the seams, but go slow and it will eventually stuff. And then after you do the back end, then you can begin stuffing the head, and eventually you'll be ready to stuff the body there. And you want to leave, you don't want to have him too stuffed in the middle, because we have to be able to sew him shut. So put a little extra stuffing in the head and the tail so that you can move that towards the center after he's closed up. Okay, then you're just going to reach together that center seam. You can put pins in that, or if you're confident holding it, you can hold it, and you're going to go over the machine and stitch as narrowly as you can to close up that pup. And make sure you use a back stitch at the beginning and the end. And if you need to add a second row of stitching, I think that's just fine to be sure that it's closed up, especially with the patchwork design. It just makes it, gives it more character to see that stitching there. All right, and the pup is done. So cute, right? Who wouldn't love this dog? Adorable. And totally a one-of-a-kind creation. Look at how the fabric came together. And yours obviously will be completely unique as well. I love this project so much. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few more of these dogs, and I'm going to go ahead and sell them finished in case you don't have time or you'd like just to have a little dog right away. I'm going to make a few of them, sell them finished, and then what I'm going to do too is put together some kits with just the pieces cut already to the proper lengths. And I have all these great scraps that'll be perfect for that. I know that kits have been very popular in the past, but this would be an easy one to make a kit for. And you can order the pieces then and just sew them together and cut out from your panel. So you can watch for all of those exciting additions over at Sewspire.com, and all you have to do is search dog to find everything. I just want to say congratulations one more time to Robin Keller. You won that beautiful patchwork bag. Hope it is enjoyed and serves its purpose well. If you would like to win this original one-of-a-kind pup, you can register to do that at Sewspire.com under the Happy Mail tab as well. And I will be back next week with another fun sewing project. This is going to conclude our studio organization series. So we're going to be moving on to something new. I don't think I've decided quite what that is yet, but I know it'll come to me between now and then. In the meantime, please know the creative genius in me salutes the creative genius in you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.